could be argued it's still being fought in some places, Prussia most notably. War is the most expensive business that a government may undertake. A great national debt was clearly at hand, and not only because of the expenses of the war with the French, but also because there has been gross financial mismanagement in the British government for a number of years already. Believe it or not, friends, the politicians in the House of Commons are paid salaries for their services to their countrymen. Woe be to such a society which would pay salaries unto its politicians. For corruption and immorality is certain to follow, and that we have certainly witnessed on a daily basis in the halls of the British government. So for all of these various things, the war, the corruption, the mismanagement of finances, Great Britain found herself possessed of a national debt of, can you believe such an enormous figure, friends? 139 million pounds. It boggles the imagination, does it not, Pamela? The people of Great Britain, Wales, Ireland, Scotland, England, part of the Kingdom of France, already overtaxed. Their tax is always some 8 times greater than ours. And members of Parliament, most especially the First Minister, George Grenville, realized he could not possibly go to them asking for more to pay off this debt. Where then will the money come from? We're clearly not willing to make any cuts to our present system of things. Let's try the Americas. Now understand, please. As British subjects, we have always understood that we do have some certain obligations towards king and country. We're all of us Britons, after all. And we certainly have recognized that there are some expenses that we must contribute to. And indeed we have. That's something else that the British government will wish you to believe. A wretched falsehood and a lie. That we ungrateful Americans have been most unwilling to pay our fair share for the costs incurred in the late war. I remind you, friends, that at times in past, when Great Britain required monies to be raised from these American colonies, there was a means in place for doing so. Royal requisitions. In effect, a very polite letter sent from His Majesty's Receiver General to the good people of the legislature in that particular colony. Reading much as follows. Good people of Virginia, His Majesty has determined to enter into yet another war with the godless and hated French. We require your assistance to pay. Please find it in your hearts to raise up 10,000 pounds for good of king and country. The Burgesses would discuss it here in the Capitol building at the end of the street. And we would find some means, most commonly through taxes, but lottery schemes were endeavored at times, to raise those monies. During the late war, which lasted 7 very bloody and expensive years, friends, we received, in Virginia, and answered to the farthing 14 such royal requisitions.